to episode 89 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
And Jeff, how are you doing on this fine spring day?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Got the sniffles. Got a little bit of the sniffles going on. Not more than a little bit. It's been a rough week as far as that's concerned because it feels so good outside, and you go out there, and then just the pollen, there's just yellow pollen everywhere, and it's just trying to kill me.
See, I got a lot of problems. Luckily, that's not one of them.
The universe spared you in
once.
In one area. Well, Jeff, we're going to talk about a lot of video games today.
Indeed.
Google's up to some shit, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, they're up to some shit. It just depends. Is it big shit or little shit?
Yeah. We're going to see how big Google shit is.
Yes. I think that's the most vulgar sounding we've really done on a podcast.
It's probably about the worst, and it's pretty early on in the podcast. I'm really sorry, everybody.
We can't monetize this episode. That's too early.
We're done. We destroyed our careers, Jeff.
Yep.
A little bit of housekeeping. We are going to record a Captain Marvel Spoilercast right after this, so that should be up at around the same time, if not before you hear this podcast. And that's on the Nerds at Large Spoilercast podcast feed, and obviously on our YouTube channel. Excited to talk about that. There's also a new episode of the Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke that we take on the 6th gym, the flying gym.
Yep.
Do things go wrong? Yeah, let's find out. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And right before this, we made Will play Knack. We made Jacob play Knack beforehand because they both lost the bet to me. And
bets are done.
They're done. Yep, they have paid up. They've paid up to my satisfaction.
And honestly, that Knack gameplay video is kind of like a podcast in a way.
It pretty much is a bonus podcast to this.
Talk about a bunch of random things. Some of it kind of going up what we're doing here in a more, I guess, free way, and some stuff we don't.
And it had Will. So basically, if you want to hear a better version of the podcast you're about to listen to, go check out that.
And we kind of decide in a way what we're probably going to do, or at least general idea for E3 betting stuff.
Yes, which is coming up.
Yeah.
E3
Spoiler, it's probably going to be similar to our Game Awards thing.
Probably. But I'm sure Jeff's going to come up with some interesting stuff.
I got those boards to write on, so they're probably going to be involved in some way. That makes things a lot easier.
Oh, definitely.
Planning things out. It's like, yeah, they can just write stuff at the same time.
And they're fun, Jeff.
Yeah. Makes us look more fancy.
Yeah, it's fun. I like the boards. That was a fun time when we did that before.
Indeed.
And we'll have the fancy mics this time. Last time we did that was one of the last things recorded on the Blue.
That was right before, yeah.
Yeah. So
nice.
It'll sound a lot better.
Yeah, we had the mics when we did Game. Yeah, we had the mics when we did Game Awards. That's right.
Yeah. But for the predictions episode, it was still all of us on this table with Blue Yeti. Well, Jeff, I've just played Overwatch more. I don't need to talk more about Overwatch. Go Rain. I'm enjoying the Overwatch League quite a bit. But Jeff, you finished a game since the last
2 games.
Oh, yes. Technically 2 games, yes.
Technically 2 games.
What was that, Jeffrey?
I have finished Psychonauts.
Yee.
And Psychonauts.
Tim Schafer is proud.
Yep, Tim Schafer is proud of me. James Willem is proud of me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it updated.
Oh, good.
Okay. So, yeah, I have finished those games.
So, Jeff talked about this a little bit last week. This was an unexpected thing. He's suddenly playing Psychonauts because it was super cheap. Or it was on
Twitch Prime.
It was on Twitch Prime
a while ago.
On Twitch Prime, yeah.
So I've had it for a little bit.
And last week you were saying, it was very bold stuff, but you were saying that you think if you had played it at the time, you would have been considering it one of your favorite games of all time, probably along with Banjo and stuff as a nostalgia beacon. Yeah. Do you still feel the same way finishing it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, this game's great. It's one of those games it's kind of made for me in ways because it's a 3D platformer, has a bunch of collectibles and stuff. Collectibles, for the most part, that matter in some way. There's, for the most part, story context to it. Every collectible does something, whether it be for upgrades or getting more behind the scenes, stuff can't remember exactly which collectible, but if you get all of one collectible in each world, you get a little thing where you can go through and see concept art for that world and the characters involved and that kind of stuff.
Okay,
that's pretty.
That's neat.
Which is cool, and you find stuff to get memories. Find stuff to get memories for the people whose head you're in, whose vision is. Figure out what happened in their past, why the way they are, the trauma they might have gone through, and that stuff. Yeah. Which some of the darkest stuff comes from that. Man, a lot of messed up stuff happened to these people. Like, again, I mentioned it last week. I see this kind of 3D platformer, kind of, wacky 3D platformer. I'm thinking, oh, this is rated E, whatever. It's going to be silly. And then I get into one of the levels, and there's a really dark thing going on, or they mentioned something really dark that happened to someone in the past. Like, oh, look it up. Oh, it's rated T for teen.
Okay, that makes
sense. Is not something that happens often with 3D platformers, except for maybe like Jack and Daxter 2, maybe when they added guns.
And those were not as artfully done, I would think. I mean, like no. Jack 2 was just like, oh, you thought this was a kid's game? It's GTA.
Pretty much,
it's just like edgy and stuff. Yeah. Psychonauts seems more like. I mean, it's hard to describe, but it's not like trying.
It takes advantage of the whole writing thing and building the world and the characters and the humor and stuff. Yeah, instead of just doing it to make it a GTA.
I think we've come across that. This is a weird parallel to make, but we've come across that with a lot of things, such as BoJack Horseman, which is one of the things me and Jeff love the most. It draws you in because it's like really funny and it's a cartoon. It's warm and colorful. But then once you get into it, it's like, oh shit, this is actually really dramatic and really like deep and emotional. I think that can be used really well when something appears to be one thing, and then once you like take the top layer off, you realize, oh, this is
it might be overblowing at some people who played it because it's not like all that. Obviously, there's just stuff like here and there like that, and some of the writing, even in the main story, is like, okay, yeah, it makes more sense that this is a T-rated game and they can do a little more with it, which is I appreciate.
Right. Yeah. So the story still gripped you the whole way through.
Yeah, it's a fun story. The characters are really cool, and I said last time, and I kind of immediately stole this from James Willems. Kind of thing. This could work as like this world and everything. These characters could work as like a TV series cartoon thing. They could work. They could make this work if they really wanted to, and I believe that, especially playing this.
Just from a little bit, that's all I could see it as like the Gravity Falls Steven Universe-esque shows. Like that gets a cult following, Yeah,
this is one of the definitions of a cult classic.
Yeah.
Obviously, it took so long to us get Psychonauts 2, which I'm now all in for. Like, it jumped to one of my most anticipated for the year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
You can expect that when Psychonauts 2 come out just day one.
You're in another thing to spend a bunch of money on.
No, not much. This thing probably gonna be a budget title.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. I hope they
imagine. I mean, even at 60, I'll get it, but So
gameplay still.
Gameplay is fun.
You said it was a little frustrating at the end.
I'll say like vague things about the worlds. May not go too deep into some of the spoiler stuff, but the meat circus. For people who played it, will obviously know what this means, especially when you say last world. When I was seeing some vague things, when I was looking up some stuff about the game, was when people talked about it being kind of infamously kind of hard or a pain in the ass or something. I think I'm curious to go watch it because I saw some stuff. Kyle Bossman from Easy Allies did a playthrough of Psychonauts like a year or two ago. Yeah, I think it was his first time, and they kind of teased like this Kyle get frustrated at the meat circus part. So I'm curious to see how that goes. I could see him being really frustrated with it.
Did it just come across as kind of like tedious design, like poor design or something, or is it?
It's like the game up to that point was never. I mean, even this wasn't the most difficult thing, but it wasn't never that difficult, honestly. And then it suddenly feels like it ramped up the challenge in a way, but not necessarily like in a fun, like it's hard way. Some of it, was kind of in an annoying way. Like there's, like I guess I'll say this: when you first get in, the first main thing you do, which to me was the most annoying part, is like an escort mission thing, where you're going to, you're pretty much escorting this kid up a circus tent, and there are different levels each time. So when you do the thing to go past each level, he goes up to the next level, and he goes ahead of you. But while he's up there, he's getting attacked, and he has his own health bar.
Okay.
But luckily, it replenishes between each level when he goes up. So what you got to do is once he goes there, you got to use the platforming to get up there and then defeat the bad guys, or not defeat bad guys, do the thing so he goes up to the next level and kind of repeat that. When you fail, it goes back to the very beginning. And it can be and part of it is it may not sound that bad, but the problem is the platforming in this was a little more annoying than some, and there was just sometimes where I feel like it wasn't necessarily my fault or whatever. I kind of just fell to the bottom.
Yeah.
So then I had to get back up there, and he dies like, well.
I mean, I think there's a good many older games of that type, like just back then, that would do things like that. Like, especially at the end of a game, have just a suddenly difficulty spike, or just simply just it's more annoying like that. It is a bummer way to end the game whenever, like suddenly like you can see the end in sight, and then suddenly it's just like I have to repeat this part over and over again. But
it wasn't. I don't think it was bad for me as like some other people from what I've seen. But I can definitely see why it bothered people a lot more. But the level itself is cool as far as like what the level actually was and what it kind of symbolized for the characters and all that kind of stuff that was going on. That stuff is really cool. I thought it was a pretty fitting end to.
Yeah.
And though at the end when I was there, like, I was disappointed about how one character / villain, you didn't really go into their head. But then I played the VR game, Realms of Ruin, and then you go into there. It's like, yes, thank you.
And you didn't know that going in?
I did not. Cool. I went into these games for the most part blind. I've seen the characters. I mean, I saw the Psychonauts 2 trailer, so the characters in this game survive. Yay. That's the only spoiler I had. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So how was that? Realms of Ruin.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It's obviously
I'm interested. I don't even know at all what the gameplay is like in Realms of Ruin. Like,
it's kind of a basic like early kind of VR game where the whole thing you're doing, because you're a sidekick, so what you're doing is you're jumping into other people's heads or animals' heads. Like you go into a flea at some point. Like it's a point and click thing, like where you're doing the teleporting thing, click and teleporting.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of those kind of VR games, but they contextualize it at least. More than like the Batman VR games and stuff. So I think it works better. It's obviously them using it as a reason for why it's that way. Like for the most part, your Raz, the main character, is tied up most of the time throughout the whole game, and you're jumping through people's heads all over the bottom of the ocean, pretty much jumping into fish's heads. At one point, you're a whale.
Of course.
And they make a joke of Raz feels like a god because everything's so small to him. And then his girlfriend, was like, I knew him being this big would go to his head. Something like that. The jokes make me laugh in this game, and just all the little things.
That's good.
Like, and they like their puns. The one of the main bad guys is called Dr. Loboto, and he does lobotomies. So there's a bunch of little stuff like that, which I appreciate.
It's bad that my head went to libido when you said loboto.
Well,
I'm kind of glad the direction we went was not that.
Yeah. So
anyway.
So yeah, the VR game is really cool. It does that. It kind of explains more, or goes into some of the more about the main characters. Like you can say the main group of the main four, I guess you can say, of Psychonauts.
So not a lot of like action in this VR thing. It's more of
not much action, and it's kind of crazy. It's like Kingdom Hearts in a way, where it's crazy to think that this VR game is like canon and important in a way. It's not. It's like it's between like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so it's not the longest thing, and they could easily just. It's not like not as crazy as Kingdom Hearts. So they can easily explain what happened at the beginning of Psychonauts 2, and you'd be fine.
Okay, but you just mean like it feels important, like important.
Yeah,
stuff.
but like. At the end of Psychonauts 1, they go off and do something like at the end of it, it's kind of a cliffhanger because they're going off on a mission, like a very specific mission, which sounds important. And in Realms of Ruin, you're doing that mission. Gotcha. That's important, and what I imagine for Psychonauts 2, they're gonna start off from the end of Realms of Ruin.
So it's weird. I wonder if they always planned on telling the story in some way. Just like there's no way they were planning on it being a VR game.
No. They definitely did not. I think what happened is they decided they were going to do Psychonauts 2 after all those years, because this came out 10 years after Psychonauts 1, Realms of Ruin.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, we know we're going to do Psychonauts 2. This VR thing looks cool. Let's just kind of give the people something now. Let's just to kind of bridge it. They've been waiting long enough. Yeah. Like give them something.
Yeah. But
and we actually got a cool little VR game.
So seeing Rhombus of Ruin, so seeing what the general Double Fine team or whoever is still Double Fine working on it, right?
Yeah.
Like general Double.
Bill Tim Schafer, thank goodness.
Yeah, seeing Tim Schafer and Double Fine work on a Psychonauts product now, even though it was different, obviously a VR thing.
Yeah.
Does seeing that give you like faith that they can make a sequel to Psychonauts that feels feels good?
I think the important
that
thing
feels
is
authentically Psychonauts.
Yeah, I think what helps set Psychonauts apart from other 3D platforms, other games, especially recent ones, is the creativity in the worlds. Like that's one of my favorite things about the Psychonauts 1 is all the different worlds. They stand apart. There's they give a reason why the worlds are what they are, why they're connected to the individuals whose head you're going in, and they're just all varied and different and cool.
Yeah.
Like, you saw me going to a couple when we were just messing around, going into the thing with the milkman and the spies.
Yeah.
The milkman, best character, man.
No, I know it wasn't. I don't think it's like one of the main worlds. But he just like walks up to this body of water, and this giant fish monster comes out, and he's like, "Oh, hi, Linda."
Oh, you actually go into Linda's head at some point, and yeah, become buddies.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many great characters.
You ate bacon to talk to someone.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
His name, I got down here. Ford Crawler. He's like the head. He was the top agent of the Psychonauts at some point. Blah blah blah. Stuff happened. He's kind of limited what he can do. So he's kind of in Raz's head. Yeah, you use bacon to get him out because he just loves bacon. That's all there is to it.
Of course, he like literally sprouts out of your ear after you eat the bacon.
Yep.
That's pretty bizarre. Jeff, would Darby Hallman, would I like this game?
I think you would. Like, I can't see you hating it unless for some reason you just really don't like the humor, but you chuckled the few lines you saw.
Yeah,
you heard.
It seemed very quirky and charming, and
I think you would have the right mindset. Is yes, this is a game for 2005, so some of the stuff will not be as up to today's standards in ways as far as that goes. But I feel like with the powers and everything, the world and humor, I think you would enjoy it. Especially since, like me, you'd be paying nothing to do it. So
yeah, and I mean, I
enough.
I have a soft spot for all those. I know this is not exactly like all the other PS2 platformers and stuff I played, but I have a soft spot for those, that vibe of a game and that art style and that very cartoony PS2 3D game.
And I think what will definitely help you get into it is, like I said, the story is kind of fun, and the characters and all that stuff. The writing is a lot of fun. And one thing that definitely helps the game is the voice acting is really good in this game.
Surprising in 2005 was
I think it's really good. Obviously, it fits the cartoony world. I like all the actors. I think fit the characters and how. Depending, like, some of them are a lot more exaggerated than others, but it fits those characters.
Do you know if the actors are coming back?
That's what I was about to say. And Rhombus of Ruin, maybe other than Lily, I'm not completely sure. The love interest pretty much to Raz. All the other characters that were in it, the at least important ones, had the same voice actors, and they're confirmed to be in 2. And I'm sure a bunch of people were like this, and I'm like, yes, thank goodness.
They're very happy, yeah.
Yeah. They sell those characters so well.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and the power's a lot of fun to mess around with. You can go around and say your camper's on fire, and like I said last time, I saw
you levitating people.
Yeah, levitating people. They'll kind of tell you to knock it off or whatever. And like I think I said last week, one of them, one of the crawlers said like, "Hey, I'll blow your brains out, man. Or I'll blow your head up if you don't stop.
I will even think twice
if you don't stop setting me on fire." And stuff like that. It can be fun to mess around with people.
Yeah, and Jeff was like walking around his home world. He's like, "Oh, well, that wolf is setting me on fire." With its mind.
Yep.
All right.
So, yeah,
cool, man.
I love this. I'm excited for Psychonauts 2. Like, I honestly, if we did our top intense big game list, Psychonauts would be near the top for sure.
Hell yeah. We never did that late to the party thing, but if we did, this would probably be a good candidate for it. But
I'm kind of doing that kind of now.
Right now,
I'm planning on going to like Resident Evil or something next.
Yeah, this is a good backlog time, at least for me.
You've
had a lot more.
Between now and we'll talk about backlogs later. At least we're planning to. Between now and June, we don't really have anything other than Mortal Kombat, but that won't take too much of our time. And even in June, mainly Mario Maker, which again, it's not the biggest commitment as far as going all in.
That's gonna be it. That's gonna be an ever-going thing. That's gonna be Darby's. I'm laying down for bed.
Yep.
And I'm gonna play this.
We may not have like a big like story single player game until Fire Emblem. Or maybe Control, that comes out in June. If
Hmm.
that's what they mean by summer.
Yeah. Are we talking about that later?
Nah, I didn't put
okay.
it in here because that was
Yeah.
kind of like the only thing. We can bring it now.
Control might be coming.
Control, yeah, is the Game Informer's game or whatever the month cover title thing. They said it's a summer title, so it could be anywhere from like June to September.
It's nice. It's a
Yep.
good time. I mean, like I was thinking about, for me, there's a lot of like empty spots. See, like I can fit Control in somewhere. There's definitely room for me to fit Control into my playing time, and super super interested in that. Did not expect it this soon. Potentially, it might be the end of, like you said. I feel like sometimes people are like, "It's coming out in September, summer." I'm like,
Yeah, and like, you're technically right, but yeah.
yeah, but it's not really. But yeah, but I think
Hey, as long as it comes out by September, that's a good time for it.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think any time after that gets hairy for it. But
Yep.
super super interested in Control. I need to go back and watch that E3 trailer because
There's some. I think there's some more footage and a bunch of other details from the Game Informer thing.
then you look at that too.
Show off some of the powers and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, you just had that same gun the whole game.
Which is good. But
Fine,
yeah,
yeah.
I expect this to be a kind of tight. Like you're not gonna be customizing and doing all these crazy things with your character. I don't think that's the
Nope.
vibe this is going for. I think it's
Yep.
gonna be a tight story experience that is just gonna be like kind of. I don't expect to really understand what's going on through this game until the end or ever. Like I expect it to be kind of a mind freak game, but I'm excited.
Yep.
I am hyped. All right, Jeffrey.
I have Psychonauts too, but I gotta wait now. At least I don't have to wait 14 years like a lot of people. That's I gotta wait like maybe a year,
Yeah.
if that much.
I mean, they've been working on it for a while, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I was saying like if somehow gets pushed back from this year,
which it
maybe a
absolutely
year,
could.
Yeah,
It's probably a small team working on it.
yeah,
Smallish. Yeah,
but it got funded, so
it did. Good. All right, Jeff. Let's get into that news jingle.
jingle, jingle, jangle, Darby.
Jingle.
That's the biggest news week, but who knows? We might go off and have some good discussion with what we got.
You never know.
First thing comes from John Ryan from IGN. Turtle Rock Studios, the developers behind Evolve and the Left 4 Dead franchise, has announced that they're working in partnership with Warner Bros. Interactive on a next-gen cooperative first-person shooter entitled Back 4 Blood. And yes, that 4 is an actual number 4 in the title.
You know what that kind of means? Maybe?
Something of a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead and its sequel, which were originally published by Valve, was announced via a news post in the Turtle Rock forum. It will be designed from the ground up as an original premium title and marries the best of what made the co-op zombie shooter so successful with new features and state-of-the-art technology. Quote, we get to return to a genre that was born in our studio with over 10 years of additional experience and zombie ideas racked up in our brains, says Chris Ashton, the studio's designer and director and one of Turtle Rock's co-founders. Yeah, that's in quote. According to the statement from Warner Bros. Interactive, something E, I don't know what the E stands for, whatever. David Haddad, and a short FAQ from Turtle Rock. This is very much not Left 4 Dead 3, rather a new gaming universe where you'll be able to shoot up a lot of zombies like in Left 4 Dead, but there's a whole lot of new stuff in Back 4 Blood, which makes it unique. While no release date has been announced, Back 4 Blood is confirmed for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, though they said other platforms weren't out of the question. Will allegedly feature a campaign as well as PvP component, though the studio has said they've ruled out including a Battle Royale mode.
Super interesting. I doubt you really played Left 4 Dead, right?
Yep.
I assume, yeah. I played a good bit of it just because in like middle school time period.
Yeah.
I never had it myself, but I just played it at other friends' house a lot.
I feel like it's a story for a lot of people.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like there was stuff. There was a time period where you go over to your friend's house, play this. You would play Gmod.
Yeah.
You'd play some Minecraft, very early Minecraft, and other things, and Portal, and all these other things. Portal, yes. And it's like that's kind of a snapshot in time that is increasingly getting further and further away and making me question life. And that's kind of part of what makes me a little like hesitant about being just immediately excited for it is I don't know what Left 4 Dead looks like in 2019. You know? Because there have been like back then the concept of even having kind of these like this crazy co-op game and like very online game like this was a lot more of a unique idea than it is now.
And zombies were more fresh.
Yeah, there's so many elements about this that was more unique at the time and kind of groundbreaking at the time. But now it's kind of the same way I have some hesitance for Borderlands, because Borderlands kind of, it didn't invent the looter shooter type of thing, but it definitely popularized it for a lot of people. But now we have so many of them, so I don't know. I worry about Borderlands 3 kind of feeling like a Fallout 4 situation where I think I just keep like pushing this to more and more games. But Fallout 4, it felt like Bethesda made that game in a vacuum and just didn't look at anything else. And they're like, here, we made the game, and then the industry had moved them by at that point. I kind of worry about something akin to that happening here.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I guess this is kind of a wait and see thing where
it definitely is.
We don't know what this means necessarily. Who knows when we'll even see this game, because they said next gen, so they're saying the PS4 and Xbox One and stuff, but yeah, I guess we won't get some next gen hardware.
Basically, I just hope that they have it in their minds that it needs to have a modern hook. Like, it can't just be the nostalgia Left 4 Dead grab, because I don't think people are going to stick with that long.
Yeah, they mentioned like they're combining what they learned from Left 4 Dead with new features and blah blah blah. Again, we won't know what that means until we actually see the game, but yeah.
But I mean, it could be really cool, because it was a lot of fun for like, you know, you and 3 of your friends to like go through this, and I mean, it was hard. It was like, I could definitely see like a kind of difficult, you have to work together to get through this, and like me, you, and Alex playing that, and you know, and
obviously they're going for the 4-person thing, because again, they have 4 in the title for Back 4 Blood.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
And that's, I mean, like, I'm not saying to not lean into the nostalgia at all. Definitely do that, but it just needs to, you know, it can't just be Left 4 Dead. Like, we can't play this and be like, oh, it's the same Left 4 Dead I played freaking years and years
guess
ago.
Also good for Warner Brothers, I guess, for this, just, you know, kind of throwing this out there, letting people know, hey, this exists. We're not making a big big deal out of it right now, because it's early on. It's not like they announced it at E3 or just a title or something.
Yeah, it was for how early it is, and if you were going to announce it, this was the caliber of announcement.
Yeah, and you know, for people paying attention, this kind of like, okay, we know this exists. Cool. We won't expect it for a while, or we shouldn't at the very least.
And honestly, this is a game that if I was developing it, I would want to hear feedback of what people want out of a game like this, and like let that shape how I make the game, you know, because it's a difficult thing.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm interested. I'd have fond memories of Left 4 Dead. That is one of the, like, I'm not a huge Valve guy. I didn't really play Half-Life. I didn't play Portal myself. I just watched a friend of mine play it. Great games. But Left 4 Dead probably is one of those that I actually have the most hands-on experience with.
Cool.
It's fun. I just remember the like redneck guy. It was really funny.
Okay, Darby, let's talk about something I think you have more experience with.
Yes.
Okay.
By no means an expert, but yes.
Yeah. This comes from Brandon Tyrell from IGN. Microsoft has confirmed Halo the Master Chief Collection is officially coming to PC in addition to Valve's Steam distribution platform. Halo the Master
That's the biggest headline from this.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Halo the Master Chief Collection is being touted as specifically built for the PC audience, including all the bells and whistles that come with a PC product. Quote, we're going to roll out each of the games in the Master Chief Collection one by one, a for the industry's representative said. Steam for us is a new opportunity. We want to bring our games to players to the platforms of their choice. End quote. We're quickly becoming the Halo anthology. Microsoft announced Halo Master Chief Collection will also be getting Halo Reach in the near future, bringing the total number of Halo games in the collection to 6. The Master Chief Collection includes Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, and Halo 4 all included, with Halo 3 ODST thrown in for early adopters shortly after launch, and now Halo Reach to round out almost every Halo game in the series in one place for $30 US. And I guess something to point out, I can't remember the exact thing we were talking about earlier. Halo Reach's release is kind of weird, where they're gonna have it, at least in the Halo Master Chief Collection, just one part of the game, and you got to pay for the rest of the part, unless you're an Xbox Game Pass person, and you just get all of it.
Get the whole thing, which that will probably sell some Game Passes potentially. But yeah, I think literally, if I'm remembering right, which I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think all you get is the Forge, which is just a map creator thing. If you don't, so basically you have to pay for Reach, for the thing that you would actually want from Reach.
I am happy for Microsoft that this was their Halo announcement, Master Chief Collection announcement. They were hyping it up, and the whole PC thing was just a rumor. And if it was not this, people were gonna riot.
Yeah, it seemed way too clear.
They made it the headliner for Inside Xbox this past week. Yeah. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, it's gonna be this.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like you said while I was reading it, Darby, the Steam part is
that's the story.
That's the biggest story.
Yeah.
Halo is gonna be on Steam, so mods.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I am probably going to get this. I used to play. I played through Reach. I didn't play any after that, but I like Halo a whole lot. And I have just like Left 4 Dead, but way more. Yeah. I have a lot of fond memories with Halo, and I think Reach is probably my favorite. To see that in there is really cool. But yeah, on top of having pretty free access to mods and stuff will be awesome to have that on the Steam version. And just the fact that Microsoft, they have their Microsoft Store for PC gaming, and instead of making it exclusive there, they're putting Halo on Steam. And I think this is another step in Microsoft just being very open about their whole message recently about how we want to be wherever you are. We want to have our games everywhere. We want to play nice with all these different platforms. Yeah. And I know me and you and a lot of people we follow are very console centric, so it's easy to lose sight of just how big of a deal that is.
Yeah, this is a huge deal. Also, something cool. I hope I'm getting this right. That I didn't put in the news. They're also doing something where apparently you can stream your PC games to your Xbox and play on there, which is neat.
So you buy it on PC and you can stream it.
Yeah, I guess. That's the way it would work.
Huh, okay.
Not exactly how it works, but it sounded neat. So it was Xbox is doing all these consumer-friendly things that don't necessarily make sense from a business standpoint, but
a lot of these don't.
But it's one of the things. It builds up their brand, makes them all look good. That people will want to invest in their brand because right now, obviously, they're behind Sony and potentially behind Nintendo soon as far as this generation goes. And this is a good way for them to catch up, even if they don't become the sole thing you buy. They're at least trying to make it so, hey, you're gonna be buying something from us. We're getting money from you one way or the other.
And that's what we've talked about. I feel like we're beating a dead horse with it, but I mean, it's a big deal. This whole year, it's been just story after story of very goodwill things for Microsoft. And even though they have not inched me any closer to buying an Xbox, I'm going to buy this. I'm 100% going to be getting Game Pass whenever it comes to PC. And just honestly, the more support they put on PC with Game Pass and just with everything they do and the cross-gen stuff, I'm going to be I see no way going into next gen that I'm not interacting with the Microsoft brand, the Xbox brand in some way, even though I really don't think I'm going to have an Xbox, but I think I'm still
be giving them almost as much money if you had an Xbox when you're not. I mean, all you're doing is not really paying for the box. You'll be paying about the same amount.
Yeah, and I will be buying the games for sure, and I will be getting this. This excites me, and I hope it's interesting to have them. I feel like most of the time, if someone said we're gonna roll these out one by one, you'd be like, why? Why are you doing this? But I think they're trying to avoid they had kind of a catastrophe with the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One when they first released it, and I think it was just them trying to deal with 4 different games in the single player and online for 4 different games having problems, and it's there's just too much to fix here. So I kind of get that they don't want those headlines. They don't want the bad stories. So they just want to make sure it works. Mm-hmm. And I think more people will pay attention to these games if they're one by one. Me, obviously I wish they just dropped them all so I can just go on a Halo binge and stuff like that. But if I would also, I want it to feel good on PC. Mm-hmm. I want it to feel like it's made for PC.
I guess in the way this works is you'll just pay the $30 whenever you want and just get it if they come out. Or you're just gonna just pay the $30 when Reach comes out.
Probably. I mean, I really, really like Reach, and
it's good that's the first one.
Yeah, I think Reach is probably my favorite. I mean, I haven't played the original in a long time, or 2 in a long time, But yeah, I'm definitely down to go through these. And obviously, I never played 4. I think I played.
Okay.
I think I played 1, 2, and 3. I kind of forget what came out when. I'm pretty sure Reach is the last one I played. I think I played 3 that I have not played 4. So that would be new for me.
Well, if you play 4 like it, if you want to, I have 5.
Did it just come free with your Xbox or something?
Yes.
Okay.
And on Game Pass.
I mean, yeah, sure. If I like it, yeah. I've heard mixed things about 5.
Yeah, but you're paying it for free.
For free, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's definitely that. It could be one of those things where I'm like, in hindsight, I'm like, this is not as bad as everyone was saying.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm probably not. This is obviously not my kind of thing, but I can see you and Alex getting to this, especially with the modding.
Oh yeah, and that could be super cool. Yeah, to see that.
Well, honestly, if it seems super fun, you guys are into it, and like the modding stuff is stupid and fun, and we can do multiplayer stuff. $30 is far enough where I can.
Well, and that's probably something that like I could download a bunch of goofy mods, and then when you're at my house, I could be like, Jeff, look at this, like you're Goku.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a dumb thing, and I know it'd be kind of unfair to the Xbox people. I wonder if this is crossplay because I have this technically.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't.
All right, obviously, it'd be at a big disadvantage, but
yeah, probably. But, yeah, that's exciting news though.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting. I'm definitely that could be a cool nostalgia. I don't dip into that side of my nostalgia very much. I go back and play freaking Sly Cooper way too often, but I don't delve into like.
Just think when Game Pass is on PC, all your Fables are on your PC.
Yeah.
And the new Fable.
And there's Fable 1's there, but not Fable 2. Fable 1, or I don't think. Oh, Fable 3 might also be there. I know Fable 2's not there, and Fable 1 is. It's like.
I think I at least have one of the Fables downloaded on my Xbox.
Put Fable 2 on PC because I will replay it. All right.
Okay, moving on, Darby. Something that's not as happy.
Kind of a bummer.
This comes from Sabromana from Gimatsu. Sega has announced a voluntary halt on shipments and digital sales of Judgment in Japan following news of actor Pierre Taki's arrest for allegedly using cocaine in violation of Japan's drug control law. Taki plays the role of Kiyohei Hamura in Judgment. Hamura is the captain of the Masugane family, a subsidiary of the Tojo clan based in Kamurocho.
Hey, I know who the Tojo clan is now, Jeff.
Oh.
Hey.
In a press release, Sega said, Sega has received the arrest reports and are currently confirming the facts. But for the time being, we will voluntarily refrain from shipments and digital sales of Judgment, as well as from things like posting the product's homepage. We apologize for any inconveniences this might cause for customers, as well as the parties involved. In a tweet, Sega added its tweets related to Judgment have also been deleted. Sega will make an announcement regarding its future course of action as soon as a decision is made. Judgment launched for PS4 in December 2018 in Japan, and it's due out in Americas and Europe on June 25th. There's no word on whether Taki's arrest will affect the Western release. It should be noted that when Sega re-released Yakuza 4 for PS4 in Japan this January, Masayoshi Tanimura, one of the game's 4 playable protagonists, was recast to be played by Toshiki Masuda due to original actor Hiroki Narimiya retiring in 2016 following allegations of cocaine abuse. And this was an update later on. The Wall Street Journal reporter Takashi Mochizuki reported on Twitter that Sega is currently discussing its course of action regarding the Western release of Judgment, and that decision has not yet been made. I think it's the most I've read, like, different Japanese words in an article.
Yeah, well, you are dealing with Judgment and then a specific actor for the Japanese version. Yeah. So this is one of those things that it's like difficult for us to discuss it, and I don't want to like shove our mindset into it too much, because I think clearly, and I imagine you're in the same way I am, from us in a very American Western standpoint, I see this and I'm like, okay, he did cocaine. And like I think the kind of analogy that I used when I was talking to y'all in like group chat was like, if obviously nothing like this happened, but if Troy Baker was arrested for doing cocaine, I don't think there would be any person in the world who would expect Naughty Dog to stop selling The Last of Us or to step in and do
imagine
anything.
if they did that. Imagine all the video games be taken off shelves.
I mean, that's what was happening.
Yeah,
They stopped.
I know.
This game was being sold, and then now it's not. Like, yeah, can you imagine that happen? It wouldn't happen. Like, it wouldn't happen in our culture. But that's easy for us to say. Like, obviously, just our values are different. So I can't completely judge that just from an American. Or I at least feel like I feel like I would be disingenuous. I would feel like that's kind of shitty to just look at it just from our American standpoint.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
But I think I hear what you're saying, but I think we can't look at it as weird because, for one thing, this is the same reaction if he was found with weed.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of weird as sometimes this is happening for drugs, but that Rurouni Kenshin author with the child porn, he's out and making money.
And getting his characters and things and putting to... Yeah. There's definitely some...
I think we can judge that at least slightly.
No, absolutely.
The values. I get it. It's not
stuff.
Different cultures and stuff, but...
But there are some lines. I mean, my gut reaction is to say, like, this is...
I feel like it's one of those... anecdotal as hell, but I've just seen things on the internet where it seems like most Japanese people do not care. This is more of older executive type things doing it. And I saw people post screenshots of Amazon in Japan. Sales skyrocketed.
Like, buy it now, buy it now.
Yeah, like,
buy it now.
I saw things like sales were at like 10,000% or something. Like, people were like, we're buying this game now.
That can't be a money move, right? Like, do they think, like, is it...
It's a pure social move, man.
It's just a, like, image move.
Yeah, image move.
But it's just like... I mean, if we recasted things... In America, if we recasted things every time people did drugs, then we would be we would be recalling games 24/7.
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't do the whole thing with the Western release because...
Well, and then also, like... Well, I mean, I guess you can play the Japanese voice in the Western.
There's no English subs from what I heard, though. Oh, wait, never mind. I think we were going to...
But, I mean, they're dubbing it in English, so obviously the English voice actor didn't do anything, so it's like...
No, the voice would be the same. It's the problem is, it's his face. It's his likeness. That's the main problem. They could redub it, and that'd be a lot easier.
Holy God, what are they going to do then?
No, this thing...
I thought it was just a voice.
No, like, they're actually using the actor's likeness for this stuff.
Oh, dear God.
That's the main thing with this. If it was just the voice, that'd be a pain, and that'd take a good bit of work still, but
significantly
that's a lot
less
more...
than,
They could more easily, like, patch that in. But with this, they have to redo everything with that character.
Wow.
So if this influences the West or whatever, we be getting pushed back. And selfishly, I just want this game to come out in June. But from a standpoint of I want this game to also do well, June, that time frame was perfect for this game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if it gets pushed back, it might be in a lot worse situation.
Probably, and it's just a lot more extra development time.
Yeah.
Especially for, like, I mean, like, I can look at this from our Western standpoint. No one here would care. It's just like, no one here cares.
Here's kind of my kind of hope. Again, it's a weird situation, as you said, because different values and everything. It's like, and Japan, even if it's weird to us, have their reasons for it.
And to be 100% clear, I'm of the standpoint that I'm, like, very, very... you should be able to do whatever the hell you want, and I think that pretty much most drugs should be legal just because you should be able to do what you want. But I'm just not judging Japan off of my viewpoint.
Yeah. But where was I going with that?
Sorry, but they're doing. We were just talking the Western release.
Oh yeah. Since they haven't straight up said something yet, I hope they're talking like, but we did all this already. We're kind of ready on our end. America does, and the West does not care. Like, no one on the West would even know. I mean, most people probably won't even know about this. Obviously, this is making news, but no one really know about this.
If they didn't pull it,
if it was just the guy got arrested, no one here would know.
Yeah, and even if they did,
no one's like, oh, the guy did cocaine. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, it's kind of hard to watch Kevin Spacey movies now because we know that he was, like, assaulting people.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not going to have any harder time playing Judgment because this guy did
this guy was like a drug lord or something along with this. Okay, fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's a little worse.
But just the fact that he personally was doing cocaine is not going to, like...
I think what also happened is he didn't get caught using cocaine. They didn't find cocaine. He just failed a drug test.
So they don't even have, like, proof... Technically, they did not find him with cocaine.
Yeah, as far as I know. I could be wrong on that, but so this is just kind of a really weird thing that I just
I mean, it's messy, and it could end up putting Judgment in a very bad spot when it was aiming to be in such a really
this could have been
spot.
the breakthrough for this team in America. They did everything to
I'm sure, like, Sega America is like, why?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are we doing
and the voice actors as well, like people won't be getting, hands on their work and everything, the localization team and everything. Because, again, this is a spin-off, like, standalone spin-off of a series that has a whole bunch of games, which makes it intimidating to people.
Yeah.
They went all in with an actual English voice cast, and a very good one, too, based on the names and what we've heard. So
it's one of those things.
The timing
also, like,
of the release was
if
perfect.
the game wasn't out yet, then I could kind of understand. I mean, it would still be weird, but I could understand, like, oh, we're gonna stop and fix this now or whatever. But the fact there's people in Japan playing it as we speak, like, there's people there. But the game has been out. People have bought the game. It's kind of weird to pull it now.
And people already pre-ordered, like, on PSN and stuff here and paid for it.
Yeah. Now, can you imagine what copies of Judgment are going to, like, sell for now?
If they don't put it back. Yeah, and again, what sucks...
Or if it just takes a long time.
Yeah, it's like from a personal standpoint, from this release date was great for me as of right now because, again, leading up to that, there's Mario Maker before it, and that's just kind of his own kind of thing I was messing around with. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's Fire Emblem kind of after that, but that was a month after it, so I would have time to play this. If it gets pushed back, even if it still makes this year, there's still so many other stuff that's above it on my list.
Jeff, we're finally ready to release it now in October. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, no, I just talked about Psychonauts. It released like the same time as Psychonauts. Like, sorry, Judgment.
We're releasing the same week as The Last of Us and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It sucks. I hate it for, like, everyone involved with the project.
Yeah, and in case this wasn't clear, I can't remember. This guy was actually like one of the major characters in the game. So not just a small side character.
So yeah, like redoing him would be way more than just, oh, let's just cut his missions out, or like let's just
he's a major part of it. Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. It was actually he was the one that they like.
No, that's kind of why it was a big deal because they got all these like kind of popular actors and their likeness and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they went all in on this game just in general.
What a shitty way for it to kind of go down.
Yep. You ready to move on, Darby?
Yeah.
We'll give updates as we hear more about this.
Yeah, I really hope that there's just a swift thing.
Or,
it's also one of those things that even in Japan, it's just like, it's not Sega's fault. They didn't know. Yeah. It's like even from a public standpoint, why should this be that bad? I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. Again, I'm just hoping they just let it slide in the West as like no one cares. No one really even know about this.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Jeff, let's move on.
Okay. This could potentially be a big thing, Darby.
It most certainly could.
As far as our conversation about it and what it leads to. This comes from Rebecca Valentine from GameIndustry.biz. Former EA Motive Studio and Ubisoft Toronto founder Jade Raymond has announced today she has been appointed to a vice president role at Google. In a tweet, Raymond announced her appointment by saying, "I'm excited to finally be able to share that I have joined Google as a VP." She did not offer further details. This announcement comes just ahead of GDC, where Google has teased a gaming-related reveal. The company has reportedly been working on streaming technology for some time under the project codename Yeti. Raymond brings a wealth of industry experience to her new role, from early roles at Sony and EA to over 10 years at Ubisoft as the founder of Ubisoft Toronto, and producer roles on multiple Assassin's Creed titles, Watch Dogs, and others, back to EA for over 3 years, where she founded and oversaw Motive Studios. Raymond departed EA entirely in October of last year, as Samantha Ryan was assigned to take over the studio Raymond founded. And this is just some additional notes from me, which is why, part of the reason I put this in here.
We're talking about it right now.
Google's GDC keynote is on March 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Guests confirmed by Google to be at their GDC festivities. Not necessarily this keynote, but just kind of their kind of stuff in general. Or Doom developer ID Software, or id Software.
id Software.
Yeah, id.
Jeff.
Ubisoft, just in general. Amy Hennig, Crystal Dynamics, and Raph Coaster.
Big names, Jeffrey.
Some big uns, Darby.
There's some big names.
So we've known about Google's kind of plans for gaming for a while. We've known about the GDC thing for a while. Mm-hmm. But the question people have been wondering is, how big is this? How hard are they going in?
Right.
We've had that this past week of a mock-up of a controller that a fan made based on some blueprints and the kind of thing.
Yeah, but it was not real. It was not like a
you were like,
real
"Oh, this is ugly." Google, what do you think? It's like, that's fan. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
it could be that ugly, but we don't know yet.
Right.
But as we're getting closer, stuff like Jade Raymond being announced as a VP at Google. She didn't say what for, but it's obviously going to be related to this, which I think them doing a VP of gaming or whatever, pretty big deal. Having their keynote, having those names there to talk in general about things like
the pieces are building
be a big deal
to something bigger, and there's multiple things to layer on here to temper expectations, or at least put context to it. GDC is not normally something where big announcements happen. It's kind of a very focused on game developers. It's usually a very technical conference where people just kind of talk about new technologies they're doing or trends, or just it's not a very for journalists or for fans. It's insider developer conference, which is what's made this whole thing kind of weird when we have Google hyping up a bunch of stuff about it, and a bunch of
and having a live stream
and everything, and Xbox Live going to Switch, which is apparently going to be some part of a GDC thing, which is a pretty big deal.
Anyway.
Yeah, which is a big deal for a GDC thing. Yeah. So,
well, to be fair, Game Pass, since GDC is kind of generally, you say, more of a closed door thing, that stuff could happen there. The whole Game Pass thing. We just may not hear about it.
I didn't mean to say Game Pass. I meant to say Xbox Live. If I did say Game Pass, I didn't mean to say that.
That kind of stuff could be behind closed door,
Yeah.
But this, Google's been typing this up, a lot of stuff on Twitter and stuff. Yeah, they have this live stream thing, which is uncommon here. And some people may why though? I just had a thought for a reason why. Because this is all going to be a new thing. Obviously, they have these developers that are kind of in the know. But let's say they announce it and everything. They'll have a lot of developers there who they can now talk to behind closed door with everything out in the open for their stuff.
Yes.
Which it might be the reason why they announce this stuff here.
You announce it, and then you're already in San Francisco with the entire gaming
industry. And you're now the talk of the town.
Right. I mean, because this is going to be, even if it's smaller, this is probably going to be the biggest news coming out of GDC. I mean, potential Xbox stuff, whatever.
And who knows? They could announce at the end, hey, see what he think. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely could.
Depending how big this is.
The rules, there are no
honestly,
rules.
The more we talk and think about this, I think we should definitely try to do a reaction.
Yeah, we're probably going to try to do a reaction. That is Tuesday, March 19th. So
1 p.m., I believe. Hope I got that right.
So twitch.tv/nerds@largegaming potentially.
It could be absolutely nothing. In that case, we probably will not upload it unless it's hilariously bad. And you can just watch us suffer for 5 minutes and then X out. Or if it's really great, we probably want to have our reaction to it.
So this is kind of our last chance to talk about it before it's real, or your last chance to kind of speculate about it and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't want to completely start shouting up a bunch of expectations and then be let down and everything, because I
don't know what to expect. And that's kind of the thing.
I don't either. But I do think the more we talk about this, and the fact that kind of the name dropping all these different developers and Amy Hennig and everything, it's leading up to I think it could be bigger than we're anticipating. As I've said on the podcast before, I really think it needs to be focused, or at least half focused, on the streaming thing, on having a service like they did last year with the test drive, basically they did with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that people were playing on Chrome browsers.
Yeah.
And from what everyone said, it works like way better than it had any right doing, and that was just like the prototype first edition thing of it. It needs to be something like that, something that can appeal to me, someone who has a PS4 and a PC, and like I'm going to continue having a PS4 and a PC, even going into the next generation, and I'm not going to leave that console. Like, I'm going to be doing these things.
Yeah.
Google needs to appeal to me in a way that it's like, they're like, cool, you can also have this service.
Yeah.
Like almost like a Game Pass type thing, but also with some tech behind it. Like, you can stream these awesome games, and we're going to give you discounts on this service and stuff like that. What I don't want to see from them is a box, or at least not like
a box you have to have.
Right.
Maybe if it's just a streaming box, or maybe like we're talking about with the Xbox Maverick or whatever the next gen one was called.
Yeah.
Not Anaconda, the other one.
I mean,
like where you can stream or download or something, but you don't have to do that. That's just an option if you want to do it for the TV.
Right. They might be going for that dual focus like them, but like the way I see it, if they come out with a very traditional box, then like if we think that Xbox is in a rough place right now, like without having the studios and the exclusives to get people to buy them, imagine Google jumping in here with no history with it.
Yeah.
They're having to start from an even lower place than them. And when there's the Xbox, Switch, PS4, all those, what would make me, you might have one or two exclusive games, but what's going to make me really want to go pay $400 for your box? I mean,
yeah,
that's
kind of my fear. And it's like, then it's like the console thing's getting a little overcrowded, or
that's too much money at that point. It's too much money. Yeah.
Because like you said, we're all in on PS4 unless they royally screw up or something. Like,
and
they have to go. They have to screw up hard.
I mean, like, not that I think that Sony's been doing this bad or something, but like Sony kind of like, this is gonna sound worse than I mean it, but Sony almost kind of has me hostage because of the series they have. Like, even if they start screwing it up, they have like 20 different series that I like want to play all the time.
And I'm sure you include these. Yeah, not even necessarily their properties. There are a bunch of third parties up that are usually themselves. Yeah, just them and Nintendo have me hostage at this point.
Yes. So the rest have to like come in with something. They gotta come in with something to stand out. And as we've said a bunch of times, and everyone said a bunch of times, it's a hard thing to do in the video game industry. But if one company has the money to do it, it's Google.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, Darby, I'm going to throw out a crazy conspiracy theory.
I love crazy.
I don't exactly expect this to happen, but what if Crystal Dynamics is there?
That wasn't. It was one of them. Yeah. So
Avengers.
What if he's exclusive to Google, or we just see it? We just see it. At Google.
I think it'd be a big message. I don't think it'd be exclusive. It premieres there, and they say it's going to be on there.
Yeah,
I think that's a big message.
I mean, I think, and I'm sure you agree, like the tech side of this will be cool, and I'm sure that's what they'll kind of open with, or what they'll like say a lot about. But I do think if this is going to be treated like your reveal for this thing, like, this could just be a little thing for developers mostly, and then the bigger reveals coming later. But if this is going to serve as your first big outing for this, it needs to be supplemented by games.
Yep, I agree. And I feel like that's what they're hyping this up for, as far as like them hyping up this live stream and everything. I feel like what they as far as the developer stuff, like,
they could easily not live stream this. They did not have to do that, obviously. Most GDC stuff.
From what it sounds like what most of these names I'm dropping here, the context of them being there was them, hey, they're doing their own like little things outside of the keynote, it looked like.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I saw.
And I could totally see this, like they introduce the tech and they're like, and then here's the montage of different games they're going to be on here. And it becomes an Xbox Game Pass almost type of thing, where you see the end screen and it's like this entire grid of different like games that you can get on your Google Streamy Man.
Yeah.
That's going to be the name of it. Google Streamy Man.
Yeah, this is a fascinating thing where this could be the most boring thing ever, like, and we'll be like, why did we watch this? Or it could be like crazy and big game changing.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that will finally, if Google is like solely doing gaming streaming, it'll kind of force us to see like the reality. Everyone keeps saying game streaming is the future. If that's Google's only thing, it's kind of like their feet are going to be put to the fire to make this work. Because as we've said a bunch of times, our internet's probably not good enough to make this a reliable thing all the time.
Yeah.
At least from the tech that we've seen so far. So now it'll be on Google to see if they can A, make the technology good enough to work on, some subpar internet, or B, if they can't, can they survive off of just people in San Francisco and New York buying it?
Where all this streaming stuff, I just always think, like when fucking said, I feel like this could all work as long as they have the option to download shit.
Yeah. Which, I mean, who knows? Will we have that? I don't know. Like, at that point, what's the difference between, is it just like another gaming store? I don't know. It needs to be.
I mean, it's gonna be.
That's the other thing. Like, it needs to not just seem like another version of anything we have, like another PlayStation, another Xbox, or another Steam. Like, we don't need more stores. I need this to be. I can pull out my phone, prop it up against this headphone right there, and play Assassin's Creed. I mean, I wouldn't be playing Assassin's Creed because I don't like Assassin's Creed, but I can play Mortal Kombat. I can put Mortal
Darby,
Kombat 11.
You can do that with the power of the PS4.
Yeah. I can put Mortal Kombat on that phone. I can hand you a controller, and me and you can play Mortal Kombat, and it's great.
Yeah.
That's what I need from Google, and boy, is that a hard thing to accomplish, but hey, they're the ones that want to get in this industry. Newcomers to the video industry have not worked for a long time, so we'll see.
Yep.
Show us what you got, Google.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just had a random thought. It's not really. I wonder what kind of fun he's gonna be doing, because I think the keynote starts the same time they film Games Daily.
Just make that the live thing.
Yeah.
They probably should just push it back and then record it.
Yeah, that's probably what they should do. I don't know if they've said about that or not. But.
Yep. All right. Twitch.tv/nerds@largegaming. Potentially look for it.
Yeah. Okay, Darby. Next story. More teases and stuff. This comes from Colin Stevens from IGN. Gearbox has teased its upcoming PAX East 2019 main theater show with a new image that undoubtedly points to something Borderlands related appearing at the show, which would line up with the heavy speculation of a proper Borderlands 3 announcement. Gearbox's teaser image teases the March 28th show in Boston, Massachusetts, with a stylized cel-shaded highway sign set in a desert area. The sign also bears the marker Exit 3. And little Jeff note, Gearbox also teased 2 other games. One with like kind of a robot in the chair, kind of disassembled, and something else that looks like it's also Borderlands that people are thinking are like a Borderlands 2 Switch port.
Ah.
That is the last theory I saw.
Interesting. I'll admit I was wrong, Jeff.
About to say, don't you go back on that.
I'll admit I was wrong. Yeah, this is clearly happening. I mean, we all know Borderlands 3 is coming at some point.
Yeah.
It's obviously coming here.
Yeah.
And this is where we get to the conversation that I kind of hinted at earlier. I am a little nervous about Borderlands ceiling, ability for success now, because it's been a long time since even Borderlands 2, and back then it was a lot more of a unique style of game now. But now we have Destiny and Division 2 and Anthem and freaking fill out the rest of the list of games that have kind of taken what Borderlands did and run with it in 1,000 different directions. So I worry about Borderlands 3 feeling like a game that they made with blinders on, and it just feels like a 2011 game,
Feel ya? Yeah, when did Borderlands... Was it 2011 Borderlands 2 came out?
It was probably a little bit later than that, but it was a...
Yeah.
I think it might have been like 2013 or 2014.
Yeah.
I'll look.
Well, what they need to do is show gameplay here, especially since this is just their show. It's only them. They need to... We know Borderlands 3 is coming. They need to do more than just officially announce it.
2012. So
2012. So yeah, it's 7 years. Yeah. So they need to do... They need to show some gameplay and stuff. They need to...
Oh, yeah. It's
preferably give a release window.
It's been so long. This needs to be the blowout.
This needs to be the blowout, so we're not waiting at E3 during Microsoft's conference like, okay, let's see Borderlands 3 just to see what it's like and everything.
And I think that might be a wise idea, because you need to come out swinging with Borderlands. And obviously, I have a feeling whatever week that is, they're going to own the headlines. It's going to be Borderlands 3
week. Since this is on a Saturday, I think, March 28th, I'll just throw this here while I'm out of mine. I say we potentially, if we can help it, record after it's done at the very least.
Yeah.
We don't have to watch it live or anything or do any of that. Just so we have the information.
So this whole thing is going to be live streamed, though.
Actually, don't know about the live stream. I guess I don't know.
A lot of these panels aren't, but this obviously seems like a bigger deal. But
so
it might just be trailers.
If we can wait till it's over with the trailer, we can at least
There's
see that.
There's at least going to be trailers with gameplay and everything. I mean, Borderlands is another one of these. We've been talking a lot about these games that I didn't really have, but I played at other people's houses. Yeah. I had Borderlands 2, but I actually ended up playing it at other people's houses almost more than I did my copy. And I never finished either of them, but I played a good bit of both. They're really fun games. Yeah. But again, it's just, things have changed a lot.
I think Alex and Olivia taught me getting into the Handsome Jack collection. We played one time and they never wanted to play again. It's like, okay, I paid money for this. Okay. You guys taught me into it.
Jeff's not bitter or anything.
I think they played without me.
But I'll be interested to see because, Borderlands, because, Destiny and all these other ones have gotten a lot more into, they are just full-on multiplayer games. Yeah. Where there's, a world with other people and you're doing things a lot more. Borderlands was still kind of a weird hybrid. It was
pretty much, based on what I played and what I know, pretty much a single player game. It had a story and everything. It had Claptrap and all that. That's all you really need. But it had the option, to play multiplayer if you so desired.
And it could
add to it.
It was really good that way, and that was a lot of fun. But it was a lot of co-op stuff, or it was you and a friend or something. It wasn't, at least from my experience, it wasn't I'm going out and playing with randoms. I'm doing this stuff all the time. It was way more of a story experience, and I kind of feel like they need to keep an element of that.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, they need to keep an element of that to stand out now. I feel like that is kind of their thing. If I go to Destiny right now, or The Division, or any of these, I'm not really getting a story. You get a passable story for one of these games, but you're not laughing and you don't feel identified. You don't latch onto these characters.
May not stand out.
And to be fair, I haven't actually played these games, but I follow them a lot, and it just doesn't seem to be that kind of game. Yeah. Whereas Borderlands, Handsome Jack is hilarious. Claptrap, all of these characters are great, and I do think they need to keep that identity, but they also need to modernize in other ways, and I don't really know what that looks like exactly.
Yeah, I agree with all you said. Definitely they need to keep with the general single player experience. It can be played like a normal single player first person shooter, but can be have a couple friends jump in and be okay and all that. Yeah. As far as modernizing it, I don't know. Part of me hopes, depending what I guess they don't take too much from, Destiny and definitely not Anthem and all that kind of stuff, but because this could definitely be a fun one for us to get into.
Yeah, and I do hope it seems accessible to us who are not necessarily or not at all the looter shooter people that get into these type of games, because it's just kind of more obviously humor and just vibe wise our thing, and the fact that it is a little more single player oriented, or at least friendly. But I think things like loot and weapons and stuff like that will need to be I don't know, it's the gameplay loop is going to need to be interesting, and potentially I hope if they have a Borderlands 3, or they're going to have when Borderlands 3 comes out, I hope it's
people already played it, apparently.
I hope it's kind of something I do hope they take, maybe not necessarily the paid expansions of Destiny, but Destiny, Overwatch, gonna be Anthem, Division, all of these, Monster Hunter World, all of these games as a service games are giving you more and more content for 2 years after you bought the game. I hope that with Borderlands 3, they kind of take some of that to where 2 years after I buy Borderlands 3, I'm still dipping back in there. And I'm saying similar things that I'm saying with Overwatch, where it's wow, I've gotten so much value out of this game for what I paid. I hope they kind of are able to bring that into it a little bit.
We will see, Darby.
I'm super interested, though. Yeah. Super interested in Borderlands.
Might see in 2 weeks, Darby.
Maybe.
Okay, moving on just a little. You thought John Force was dead. Never.
Never gonna die.
Yep.
Is Jump Force still in your disk drive right now as we speak?
I mean, not the disk drive.
Oh, no, we just played NAC. Before that, was it still in your disk?
It was technically Overwatch.
Okay.
let's see. Yeah. So we got some of that DLC and post, launch content. We got some things. Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! Was announced as the first DLC character, and Bandai Namco also announced the roadmap for the game, well, at least through August. Kaiba and 2 more characters will be released in May alongside a World Tournament stage, which is from Dragon Ball. In August, there will be 3 more characters released along with the Valley Inn stage, and that's from Naruto. There'll also be costumes released periodically, as well as numerous events during this time frame, like tournaments, boss raids, etc., etc.
Hey, but Kaiba.
So, yeah, Kaiba could have been in no matter what, but it seems that data mine thing seems to be legit. I actually think Kaiba was the top name on the list.
How many characters were in the data mine?
9.
Ooh.
They announced 9 ahead of time.
Wow, so there might be no surprises.
Yeah. No, it was the full list, if that is all to be true. So, yep.
Well,
Kaiba's cool. That is exciting. Glad they're getting out of the way so I can use some blue-eye pipe dragons and fools.
Hell yeah, man.
The stages are cool. I guess the stages are free, which are cool. Like, this is a mix of paid and free DLC. Like, stages are free. The characters are obviously paid. And I think just really the characters and the costumes, like their costume gear for the avatars come with them. And that's as far as all the paid content.
We should get something that you don't have to pour a shit ton of money into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stages are cool. I guess the kind of sucky thing is I'm okay with them being from manga series because, those are kind of cooler from a crossover standpoint, but it is kind of lame that it's from Dragon Ball and Naruto. We already got stages from both those already.
It's been a running theme in this game.
So I'm going to go ahead and say confidently that when the third batch of characters come, a One Piece stage is going to come with it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of sucks.
So where are you at? Are you going to buy all these deals? Oh, wait, you already have them because you got
I got the Ultimate Edition, but I got it cheaper, so I didn't pay $100 for this. Don't worry, guys.
Right.
And I'll have fun with this. I'm going to go back in. There are plenty of missions I still need to do. I might wait till at least some of these characters come out so I can go in and, use the new characters for that stuff.
Ow. That was a painful yawn. Ow. Have you ever done that yawn and it's like feels like it pulls something in your face?
I feel you.
Yeah. Hurts.
So yeah, Jump Force. Kaiba. He has money. Money, Darby.
Screw the money. I have rules.
Exactly. Okay. Final thing, Darby. This is a mixture, I guess, kind of news and sales and all that kind of fun
I want to
stuff.
play the new songs, Jeff.
I have. This comes from Rebecca Valentine from GameIndustry.biz. Beat Games has announced that its VR rhythm game Beat Saber has sold over 1 million copies of this past February.
Ah, damn.
The sales numbers are particularly impressive for a VR title. It's possible that Beat Saber is one of the first, if not the first, VR game to reach the 1 million mark. Though without concrete sales numbers on popular titles such as Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim VR, there's no way to tell for certain. Previously, the game reached 50,000 units in its first week and 100,000 units in less than a month.
So they may be speculating that Beat Saber is the best-selling VR game of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be up there.
It's crazy.
I feel like it's one of those ones, if you have VR, you're probably getting it.
That's awesome.
Speaking to Variety, CEO Jaroslav Beck said word of mouth was almost entirely responsible for the success. Quote, "We did zero PR whatsoever. We didn't expect that it would blow up that crazy." End quote. Beat Games has unveiled Beat Saber's first song pack to coincide with the announcement, featuring 10 new tracks added to the game by Canadian EDM label Monster Cat.
Feels good, man.
Feels good, Darby. So yeah, these sales numbers are crazy, and I think this was like a 5-man team. So they're rolling in the dough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure making it.
And they got to do a cut to the artists and stuff too, but still.
Yeah, and I'm sure, making a VR game adds something to the budget. But other than that, obviously not a whole lot of assets they had to make for this or anything like that. It's, it's
I mean, and here's the thing. They reuse assets like crazy. It's like it's still the same sabers and cubes. They just got to turn them in.
Oh, yeah. No, there's only like a handful of assets.
Yeah.
And it also allows them to just add in songs really easily because
as long as they get the rights to rock on it.
Yeah, you're using the same assets. And they probably didn't have to pay a ton of money because it's not like they had like crazy licensed songs all over the place. A lot of them were either, I think, like at least multiple of them were made for this.
Yeah.
or they're just at least smaller titles. Like you don't have
actually
Skrillex songs.
This is the first.
The League of Legends one might be the biggest thing.
So I played the new songs this morning, so I can make sure I play them before coming in and talking about all this news. So I went in. They changed some stuff around the game. They now have like separate albums. When you pick songs, they have them separated by albums. Like original soundtrack 1, volume 1, original soundtrack volume 2.
That's how it is on Spotify.
Yeah. Free songs. There's only like 3 songs or whatever. 3 like additional songs. I think like that's where the League of Legends songs and everything. And then the Monster Cat DLC thing. So yeah, I went through and played all the DLC songs this morning. I just did it on normal, so
How are they?
Pretty good. Unfortunately, like it says here, it's all from one EDM label, so they're all EDM. So not as much variety as I would like. Yeah. But I think most, and they're definitely ones I like after one listen more than other ones. But they seem really cool. I can definitely tell some of them are going to be crazy on upper difficulties. And I think the price is fine. It was, I think, $12 for the pack. So it's pretty much like buying an album.
Well, Jeff, you take down Mr. Chad Michael Ennis from Respawn Aim 5.
He did Expert Plus, right?
Yes.
Like, for the hell of it, afterwards I was like, because Expert Plus is new, I don't think I really got to none since that was added. Yeah. So I went in and turned off the no fail switch and went into rum and bass. Mm-hmm. Darby, it's impossible. It's impossible. Like,
you hit 3 notes.
No, they're just literally cubes coming at you nonstop in crazy positions.
If Chad can do it, you probably can't do it.
I want to see you going.
Oh God, that would be terrible. I would be worse. So much worse than you.
I mean, we have to turn on just so you can kind of see. We would have to turn on no fails just so you can see some. Because if it was fail, I mean, I'm the same way. You lose in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah,
we fought expert lose in 2 seconds. No, you literally lose in 2 seconds.
No, my mind can't comprehend harder than expert. Like, I don't even understand how the game can do it.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, how can people's arms and minds, like, I can't keep up with any of this. It's madness. So, anyway, Beat Saber, great game. They deserve all these sales. It is, if you get a VR, whether it be on PC or PSVR, this is a must buy no matter what. Like, it's just one of those games that, just from a pure gameplay standpoint, it's just perfect.
Nerds at large. Proofs.
Yeah. And I'm excited because we know we're getting at least some more music. They've said in other statements we're getting more music, DLC music packs. They're also going to release more free songs periodically as well.
And none of them are going to beat Pop Stars.
No.
I listen to that song a lot. It's a good song.
And then when you just imagine you swinging your arms around.
Yep, I'm just sitting there in the car and then I just start swinging my arms around. I've gotten in a lot of wrecks, but
yeah. It's all worth it, Darby.
It's all worth it. All right, Jeffrey. Well, let's do... That was the last news story, right?
Yeah.
Let's do kind of quick, just laid back, casual main topic. Let's talk about games we want to get to in 2019, Jeff. Maybe in that backlog. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Jeff? Because I think you did a little more preparation for this than I did. I'm just gonna go off the right off the dome up here.
The dome.
Right off the dome. But I'll let you go. I'll let you start us off. After you.
So how are we doing this? We're just gonna go and
let's just kind of talk about general games in our backlog. All right. So did you just kind of like list off your backlog?
Yeah, just kind of have a list to keep up with what I.
All right. Let's go through them and then let's figure out what you're gonna actually try to accomplish this year. What's important?
What's important?
And I can take a look here too.
Yeah, this is in no particular order. First thing I have is Resident Evil 1. It's kind of in the list again, kind of like Psychonauts. Yeah, I talked about the thing maybe in this podcast at the beginning. I can't remember. Or last week, I got a couple games where like, okay, they have sequels that are out or sequels that are imminent, like Psychonauts. Which is why that puts the forefront. Plus, I just kind of really fit playing that kind of game. So kind of want to do something like that, like Resident Evil 2 remake's already out. So play Resident Evil 1 remake and trying to do that before playing Resident Evil 2. Whether I like it or not is no bearing on whether I play Resident Evil 2 because I know they're different.
Right. Like I would
it's
leave,
more from a story standpoint.
I would leave yourself the possible eject seat on that. Like if it's just feeling old and like you don't want to do it, I would say, don't force yourself.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would want to go back and play 1 right now. I have contemplated going back to play 4, but
yeah, 4. I'm waiting, I guess, for the Switch version.
it's on PlayStation now, so I can play it for
Don't
free.
have that.
Or not for free, but
It's already paid for free.
yes.
Also, I'll just go along with this because it's the same thing. Ori and the Blind Forest, kind of same
Yes.
thing. Will the Wisp coming out this year, so might as well do my homework for that.
Yeah, that should be high on the list.
Yeah.
for sure.
I just
So would you just play that on Game Pass? I'm guessing, like with your Xbox
I got on
One?
Game
Yeah.
Pass. I think I already got on PC for cheap as well. So either one.
It would look better on PC, but be more comfortable on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be up there. I want you to play.
Yeah, Resident Evil. As far as that goes, Resident Evil is probably gonna be next because Resident Evil 2 is already out.
Yes.
So.
And you can borrow Mr. Jacob Hamill's Resident Evil 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for him.
Don't want to speak for him.
Don't want to speak for him.
It's his game.
It is his
He
game.
did what he wants with his life.
He knew it.
Maybe he sold it. Who knows?
Maybe. That doesn't sound like the Jacob I know.
I'm just saying. His life. So about you, Darby?
I definitely want to. I was like,
I can cross one off. Oh, God.
oh, Jeff Psychonauts. And Danganronpa 3, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that.
You get into a Danganronpa mood?
Always.
I have multiple that, like, I'm throwing around in my head in my backlog that I don't actually know if I'm going to get back to. I bought Final Fantasy 15 for $60, Jeff.
I got it. Actually, I got it. I think I got it for free. I think I got it because it was like on sale or whatever, and it was just some kind of weird sale. We got multiple games for like $20. So I think when my mom got it for my sister for Christmas, like, just give me a copy too.
Yeah, I feel like I need to justify that purchase from 3 years ago, whatever the heck it is. I just wonder what that would feel like now. Like, no, like, people didn't say bad things about 15. They just
it
said
was like 80 on
very-
Metacritic or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like not
It's
completely.
gotten better since then.
It was just not completely finished, obviously, because they've like improved on it 1,000 times.
It's Kyle Bossman approved, Darby.
Anyway,
Kyle Bossman approved. Who knows what that means?
who knows? Like, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. Like, something about the marketing and just what other people were saying and just being a Final Fantasy fan led me to buy that game for some reason and then, like, not play any bit of it hardly, or play, like, 45 minutes. I'm contemplating. I went back and played Persona 5 this year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that good, but, like, you know, I almost feel like I owe it to Final Fantasy and I kind of want to give it a shot while things are potentially low. I don't know. Like, the mood has to hit me, but I am contemplating that, and I don't know. Like, do you think that would be a wise use of my time?
It could. Here, let's talk about see what other games you might have on your backlog, Darby.
All right, I'm trying to think. Gravity Rush 2.
Okay, yeah, that's. Do you have a copy?
Oh yeah, dude, I'm like 10 hours into it.
Oh
or
yeah, that's
something
right.
like
That's right. I can't remember, man.
that. Yeah. The problem with Gravity Rush 2 is it's a bad video game, but I like it. It's like it is objectively mechanically not good. I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's just like I would not recommend it to people. But I have a soft spot for Gravity Rush, and I love Kat as a character. I just love how jolly it is. I love how it makes me feel. It's just like a warm, nice game. But every time I play it, like I just get like I'm having fun for a while, and then I get to a spot where I'm like, this level is just so stupidly designed. I'm flying around just looking for these little things to hit. I'll fly past them. I have to reorient myself, and the mechanics are not good. And I end up getting mad at it and quitting and deleting it off my hard drive for something else. And then I download it back. And then the cycle continues again.
Never ending cycle.
So I don't know. Gravity Rush 2, I love it and hate it at the same time. I don't hate it. I don't know.
You're just frustrated by it.
I'm frustrated by it. That's there. I also, one thing I wanted to ask you for backlog, and then I wanted to like go back to you too, because I want to go back and forth. Do you have Shadow of the Colossus on physical?
Yes, I do.
I was contemplating that too, because
Okay.
I feel like that would be a short experience. That would be
yeah.
a pretty
It's
short.
a short
thing.
game.
Yeah.
Got for $20.
Yeah. That's
Well, and Christmas, so.
definitely on there too. I dipped a little bit back into Final Fantasy 12 for a little bit. I love that game, but it's just too much to invest into.
Yeah, when I did up a mass pre-ordering spree for my Game Pass expiring, I pre-ordered 12 for a Switch. I I went ahead and canceled it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get to that when it comes out.
I mean, you could borrow mine if you ever want to. I mean, because I have it on disc for PS4. It's such a good game, and I might actually
I'm
chip away at it.
I'm probably going to just wait till I get a Switch version cheaper because, as I said before, if I'm being honest, the best chance I have of finishing that game is on Switch.
Yeah.
So
other than that, I want to play Chrono Trigger this year.
Okay.
My Steam copy is messed up, and I need to call Square to see like what the hell is wrong with it. Like every other game I play, including like Final Fantasy VII, also from Square, like works on Steam. That one doesn't. And I want to play Persona 4. If there is a big enough gap in this year, I want to give it a shot. I think those are the most pressing ones for me.
Okay. And for me, like you mentioned, Danganronpa 3. Honestly, I'm kind of Danganronpa. Maybe once we're done here, I might play that tonight. Start that.
Nice.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, those aren't that long, right? And you can just
this one's no. The first one's like 20 something hours long. This one's closer to 40 hours long.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yes, no. These are. I mean, at least they're not like games that can go crazy unless you're really bad with the trials. They're not like games that can go on much longer. It's not like a bunch of side crap you can do.
Yeah,
but they're not necessarily that short.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Something I kind of, it's one of those things every night or so play a little bit.
Okay,
good for. Might just go ahead and start that, especially since I think my mom's going out of town next week, so less chance of her coming into the weird anime.
You can hide your shame more.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's definitely that for me. Nier Automata is definitely one I want to get to.
I want you to play Nier Automata, and you should play Nier Automata, and you and Jacob should do a spoiler cast like I did with Persona 5, because Jacob's just a lot more cultured than us.
I'm trying to think. I was trying to do it strategically because, like we keep on mentioning, we really don't have too much until Fire Emblem as far as like single player games go.
Yeah, so you feel like you want to use this time wisely, but
yeah. So honestly, I want to play. I want to get to Resident Evil and Ori. I might push those back even some. Ori's coming out of the tail end of this year, from what it seems like.
Yeah, we just know 2019 right now.
Yeah,
we don't know anything
but we probably won't get the date till E3, so again, the latter part of this year.
That's what I'm assuming.
It's a pretty short game, so I can just get to that like the week before it comes out.
Yeah, I think it took. My Steam thing says 18 hours. I think it may be like 17 hours. I think that's with me leaving it on for a while, and
I know I looked at how long it'd be. I feel like 10 hours is what I've seen.
Maybe it's less than that on mine then. I don't know. Maybe it was closer to. It might have been closer to 15 hours. Keep in mind, I left it on probably a good bit, and I'm a lot worse at these type of games than you are. So
that's fair. Yeah. So honestly, the ones I might focus on next, as far as this list goes, might be Nier and Danganronpa. I think that's complement each other well. Two games with a bunch of bullshit going on. Maybe too much. I'll get overloaded.
Very true.
I'm just coming here as a conspiracy theorist.
With his tinfoil hats.
Yeah. I got Horizon Zero Dawn on here. I want to get to it at some point.
Yeah. I don't know when you're gonna. That
one. When I do get to it, depending on what's going on, it depends how much the world takes over me or whatever. Might more mainline it, depending.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. I'm not going to do that when that happens. I say that to get it done faster.
Yeah, I don't think.
I know how I play these games.
Yeah, and it's also like I don't know. It's not. It's going to be less fun because you need to like get some of those abilities later. Not that I do think there is some not great side content in Horizon, but there's also some really good ones.
Sure, be able to tell which ones I like and what's not.
Yeah.
I'm just going down. I got Dot Hack, the GU collection.
Did you ever play any of that?
I didn't play it. No, I think it still might be in the wrapper. I got it for cheap still, so that makes me feel better. I played the first 3 games. It's just the 4th one I didn't do. Part of me was like, part of me wanted to just, because you can carry over save data with your skills and stuff and equipment, wanted to replay them all again and do that, but it's like, that's too much. I'll probably just play the 4th one.
Yeah.
Just do that at some point. I think it's the longest thing.
So it's a full game.
It is. I think it's a shorter one, but yeah, it is a full solo thing that's more updated.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fortunately, I don't think so. I got Gravity Rush 2 on here. Who knows when I'll get to that.
And you can take my copy too.
I got a copy.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheap Christmas gift, Darby.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus. I want to get to that at some point.
Yeah.
You're more likely to get to that right away, potentially. So next time we meet, I'll just remember to bring it. It's just like, here, Darby, just whenever you just feel like popping it in.
I'm in a good time right now.
Yeah.
That sounds like I can do that. And I want to, like, see... I have a feeling my opinion's going to change from when I was a kid playing that game. I hated it when I was a kid. I have a feeling it's going to be different.
I feel like we were... I didn't play it, so... I feel like I may have been the same way. I feel like we appreciate more of the artsy crap nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously. So
Yeah, definitely.
we can appreciate more. Let's see. This one's a big one, Darby. And I probably won't get to for a while, but I know I want to get to it. Red Dead Redemption 1. I got it. I got it for my mom got me like a cheap copy like for Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
For Xbox One.
I'm
going to get to it at some. I mean, that's a game I'm going to play at some point. It's just a matter of when.
I mean, the fact that Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably one of your favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I'm in the world now. I'm in for the world. So I'm interested to see. Yeah, actually, you're interested to see how I feel from my perspective playing the prequel first.
Yeah.
Knowing very little other than John Marston's fate.
Yeah. I'm super, super interested in that. Like, to talk to you.
And what helps with it is this game is significantly shorter than 2.
Yes. And, yeah, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't recommend completely mainlining, but you could probably, you could do that.
From what I heard, from the stuff I've seen, it's not like the side. I'd be less motivated to do side content. That might be harder to do after playing 2.
Yeah, I mean, and most of the side stuff is just like wandering upon things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily like there's a mission.
Man, that map's going to feel small.
Yeah, dude. At the time, it didn't.
Yeah.
But it will now.
Yeah, there's some other main things. I got Crashed on here. I have that. I'm just kind of playing that every now and then, just kind of going through that. Crash Bandicoot.
So you did. I knew you were talking about getting it, but
it was on sale on Switch. Like, screw it.
No.
So got that. Got Valkyria Chronicles 4. Got also that for Christmas.
Okay.
I got that downloaded on my Switch. Done some missions. Want to get to that too.
I appreciate that the last game's on there. I mean, I know it's not going to happen, but I just appreciate that you put it on the list. We'll get there.
Yeah. Travis Strikes Again, I need to play that too. I don't know why I stopped that one. I had fun with it.
Okay.
Get sidetracked.
How far were you in it?
Halfway or let's say 40% of the way through, maybe.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Got Ori on here. I'm not talking about it on here because there's nothing more to say. I'm punching away at Dragon Quest. I'm still doing that. Don't worry, I haven't dropped that.
Are you in endgame yet, or are you?
I'm close to done with the main story. Yeah.
There you
go. Yeah. It's unfortunate because I get easily distracted by this stuff, Darby. It's like I just want to play new. There's too many games. I want to go to the new thing.
Oh, I'm definitely the same way. That's what I like to counter.
Yeah, and last 2 games are Persona 5 and Witcher 3. Those are games I put up. This is just a general list of games I want to play at some point so I can keep track of all
Pie
this stuff.
in the sky.
Yeah, so
I did it.
Yeah.
You could do it.
This is a list to make me partly seeing this list and crossing off and stop me from getting new old games.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, yeah.
That's what I think we need to do a better job of looking at what we failed to accomplish thus far.
Honestly, this isn't as bad as I originally thought.
Yeah. And I could definitely add more.
Oh, wait. I forgot one that is on both of our lists that we didn't mention. Undertale / Deltarune.
Oh, yeah. And that's such a simple, easy one to just knock out.
We could both do that by next week.
I also want to play To the Moon because I bought it on Steam, but now there's like an way up-res version. Like it's in Unity, remade in Unity instead of RPG Maker, coming to Switch. So now I'm conflicted.
I have another game to add to this. I bought a new game on Switch recently. An older game, Flipping Death.
I've heard the name.
It was like one of the first indie games. It's the one with that girl who's the Grim Reaper.
Oh, right.
You know, this is the fun, goofy ones where you're flipping the world and stuff. It was on sale for $5.
Okay.
On the Switch eShop. This has it's just like, I've been kind of wanting this game since now. Screw it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jeffrey. Well, that was just a little general discussion about games we might try to get back to. What's your backlog, dear listener? Let us know what you're trying to get back to. Also, like, I bought Watch Dogs, and I barely played any of it. I didn't really love what I played, but, you know, I've heard it's good from you and from other people. So
Indeed. It's great.
That's low on my backlog, but it's there. All right, let's talk about some Captain Marvel and then go home, Jeffrey. So, Thank you guys so much. Tune in Tuesday, potentially. Twitch.tv/Nerds Gaming for some Google stuff.
All the Google news. If you're there, we won't have to talk about it as much on the podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Bye.